I didn't write down how to intro it.
Well, yeah, you did. It's right. It's all right
Yeah,
there.
but like the first thing, I don't know what we're gonna do to just like cold open it. Because that'll probably be like the first thing, unless there's like something really funny we want to put at the beginning, and then intro, and then.
You don't think we can be funnier than that moment right there? This is why I only talk to you once every 4 months.
Yeah. Not anymore, baby. Let's just jump into explaining it, since we definitely did that the first time.
Yeah.
If I haven't said it yet, this is our second time recording the episode 0. Because welcome to episode 0. I'm a professional.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to episode 0 of what, Jake?
Of the Backlog Club. So, if you're wondering, what is this podcast? Why is it called the Backlog Club? Well, it's a book club for your backlog. I'm going to say that again because I feel like my voice cracked a little bit. It's a book club for your back. I took way too long of a pause there.
It's a book club for your backlog of video games.
Thank you, Jordan. And the reason why I say it's like a book club is because not just me and Jordan are going to be playing this, but you at home as well will hopefully play along with us. That way, every Saturday you have a new game to discuss with us.
Or listen to us discuss.
Form a parasocial relationship over a video game.
Those are our favorite.
Yeah.
I love them.
Is there anything that you want to say in the intro, or do you just want me to do it all?
I think you could do it all. I think it's important that you get through it. They'll hear enough from me.
And the idea of the backlog for us isn't that we're just limited to retro games or Nintendo games. It's everything. And really, as soon as you buy a game, it becomes a part of your backlog anyway. So really, we could do anything we want. To paint a better picture for you, let's just go over the first 6 games we've got in the lineup. The first episode will drop next Saturday, October 7th, and we're going to be going over Ocarina of Time, The Legend of Zelda. The second episode, October 14th, will be all about Portal, the original Portal.
I wouldn't say portal like that.
Portal?
You said portal.
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 Portal. Yeah. Like turtle, but portal.
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 Yeah, I don't
Not portal.
Portal.
Yeah. No, you broke that up into several different portal.
My mom always makes fun of me because I say family ties. Weird.
Family ties.
Family ties.
How else how does she say it?
She's like, family ties. I'm like, family ties.
Family ties. That's how.
I don't know. Episode 3 on October 21st will be one of my recent favorites, Pikmin 1. Episode 4 on October 28th is going to be our first new game we cover, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. We're not going to cover every new game that comes out because there's 3 games coming out on that day, but we're going to cover the things that we care about the most.
What's the third one?
Sonic, Mr. Sonic fan.
Oh my god. Well, okay. don't be throwing that label around. You're going to get me in trouble.
You know you are a Sonic fan.
I have been a fan of Sonic games in the past. I would not consider myself currently a Sonic fan. I've been hurt too many times.
And the other new game we're going to cover is Super Mario Wonder. That'll be episode 5 on November 4th. We're not planning to do Sonic Superstars, as you could probably figure out by now. And the last one we have planned out as of now is episode 6 on November 11th, Metroid Dread. Another one of our personal favorites.
Yeah, I love Metroid Dread. Yeah. Was I supposed to talk?
Yeah, I was looking at you.
Oh, okay.
My co-host.
You're doing the script. No, Metroid Dread is great.
Port Samus Returns to the Switch, please.
Just make it like Dread.
Just give it the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon treatment. And in case you're wondering, yes, this will be all huge spoilers. These are not spoiler-free podcasts. If you have not played the game, prepare to be spoiled. Just play the game. It's a book club. It's a video game club.
You could still, even after you listen to the podcast, go and play the game if you want to know our thoughts on it.
Yeah, if you want to confirm our thoughts because we're right. We might give like a spoiler warning for the new games that we cover, but don't expect one for like Ocarina of Time. It's a 30-year-old game.
Will it be in the title? I think we should put it in the title. Spoiler warning in parentheses.
We'll probably just say at the beginning when Spider-Man comes around.
If you're not playing Spider-Man, you have no business listening to this podcast.
Yeah. If you don't care about story spoilers and stuff, then you just want to know if it's
you
a
don't
good game.
like Spider-Man, we don't want you here.
I love everybody with a wallet.
That's true.
A full wallet.
Jeffrey?
I like money.
Hello, I like money.
That's a good Krabs laugh. I know that this video was posted on a Friday, but the Backlog Club will regularly be posted on Saturdays at noon Pacific. I just wanted to go up the same day that I post my video on my channel about this whole thing. My super clickbaity video that you probably came from. However, if you want to watch all of these a week in advance, we are going to be launching a Patreon. It's probably up right now, so go check the link in the description. And we know it's extremely early to launch a Patreon, but this will help fund the future games that you want us to play on this podcast. If you'd like to become a patron, you will immediately unlock episode 1, the Ocarina of Time one, and get access to all the other podcasts 1 week before everyone else. You'll also get to influence the decisions we make for the podcast, mainly what games we're going to play and what order, but other decisions along the way too.
Do we want them to do that?
Should we do like a $100 tier where they get to choose one game for the year within reason?
Yeah, because then what if they suggest something that's like, oh man, we can't really.
We'd have to work with them on that. So we'll think about it. There might be some cuts in this intro where you're just like. Eventually, we'll make a Discord server exclusively for the patrons for special events and other discussions. Things like Q&As and maybe some live streams of our games if we want to do that. Recently, I've been playing these games for the podcast for my members on my channel, but I'll probably switch over to streaming for the patrons of this podcast whenever we get that set up. I don't know. Do you plan on streaming any gameplay? Are you gonna?
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I think if there's enough interest, that's definitely something I'd want to do.
Maybe I should say this right now in case we decide to not go with Patreon and just do YouTube members, because that would make it easier for the live streaming side of things. We haven't really decided what we're doing for the paid subscriptions. So if I said Patreon a bunch, I might mean members. So there are plenty of reasons to join our Patreon, and thank you in advance to those who do. Here's a clip from episode 1 to hopefully make you want to subscribe and go watch it now on Patreon. We talked about part 2 of the Ganon fight. Really liked it. I thought it was cool. The end of the game was good. But the glorified ping pong match.
No, that's a classic. I will have no slander. That is a classic Zelda move. It is a classic. It's a classic. That is a skill issue, and you just need to get good.
It's just timing. It's just like
yeah, it's skill.
It's so boring.
Yeah, you hit him, and then you get him with a light arrow, and then you beat the crap out of him.
Like just for the
and then it gets faster and faster, and you
for the biggest bad of all the big bads in all of the lands. That I play ping pong. I play table tennis.
Think about it this way: Ganondorf is so confident that he's gonna wipe the floor with this dumb kid he saw all those years ago.
He decides to whip out his ping pong paddle. And we totally understand it's hard to give people money when you don't know anything about them. Some of you may already have a parasocial relationship with me, but let's get you hooked on this guy. Jordan?
Hello.
Thank
you for asking me to do this podcast. I'm very excited.
Wait, since I've been talking this whole podcast, why don't you start with your first question for me?
Okay.
For us. We're going to answer each other's questions.
Wait, I thought we were supposed to get to know me, though, with the Q&A.
Selfishly, I'm going to answer the question first, I guess.
Yeah, keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Since they've been hearing you talk, why don't I ask you a question so you can keep talking?
Why don't I ask your question to you? I just wanted to end with my question because it's a good segue.
We can alternate questions.
Yeah, I know. That's why you go first.
Oh man, that doesn't work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll go my question, your question, your question, my question. How about that? Jordan?
Hello.
I forgot my question. What's an game? Wow. My English is very good. What's an game or series that you have never played before that you'd like to try on the podcast?
A game or series I've never tried before that I'd like to play on the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, I had this question when we recorded this the first time.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember what my answer was.
This is why I asked you before we hit record.
Yeah, but then we never figured out what the question was.
I handed you the iPad.
Oh, and I read the script. And then I read the script.
We're professionals, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I love it.
What's a gamer series? I feel like I'm saying, what's a gamer series?
What's a gamer series?
What's a gamer series? What's a gamer series that you've never played before that you'd like to try on the podcast?
I think a franchise that I'd really love to try and just get into is the X-Men Legends series, because those spawned the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series, and I love all 3 of those games.
Those predated that. I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know
The
X-Men? Yeah,
came
Raven
first.
Software made Ultimate Alliance 1 at least.
The Call of Duty people?
Yes, who now work on Call of Duty like every other studio that is owned by Activision. Love the X-Men. I grew up watching the movies. I've read the comics. Wolverine is one of my favorite comic book characters. But yeah, I think the X-Men Legends franchise would be really good. They're also co-op. I might get Jake to do it with me. We'll see. But yeah.
And I'm down for a good Marvel game.
Exactly.
And if it's like Ultimate Alliance, I've only played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, the Black Order, the Switch one.
Yeah,
I loved it. So
great game.
Yeah.
Ultimate Alliance 1 is a better game. Hard to believe that.
That's one that I want to do for the podcast.
X-Men Legends, I'd love to try it. I might get Jake to do it with me. But what about you, bud? What are you finna play for the podcast?
It's like really anything PS2.
Sly 2 is one of the best games on the PS2.
A little inside baseball here. I want to do a podcast titled "Should Sly Cooper Come Back?" and do that with like a couple series, maybe a little F-Zero. If F-Zero 99 would have came out a little later, once the podcast was actually rolling, that would have been nice. But
I wanted a new F-Zero game so bad. Not a battle royale.
I haven't played Ratchet and Clank, Little Big Planet, Uncharted even. I watched the movie. It was all right. Really anything PlayStation exclusive, I haven't played a ton if it was before the PS4.
So now I have a question for you. Even though I know you prepared questions, I also prepared some questions of my own because I want answers.
I'm so shocked that we definitely haven't recorded this exact part before.
Just get a little bit more personal.
Okay.
Jake.
Yeah.
Let's really dive into this parasocial relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the feels going. What is your favorite gaming memory from your childhood?
I don't want to hurt my dad's feelings here because I am so grateful for all the times that he sat down and played video games with me. I know he loved it. I loved it. Those are great times. But even less often did I play video games with my sister. Probably one of my favorite memories is going back and playing Animal Crossing on the GameCube. We sit there and we take turns building up this beautiful, probably not that beautiful city in Animal Crossing. So you know how like there's the Mew schoolyard rumor where like the Mew's under the truck in Pokemon Red. There was this rumor that if you paid off all of your debts on all of the biggest houses that you could get in the GameCube game, that you would get a statue in front of the railroad section in Animal Crossing. I always thought that was something fake that someone told me on the playground. And when I eventually went back and played the game, like probably 15 years after it released and paid off my last debt, I actually got a gold statue of me in my town.
Wow.
I was like shocked that it was actually a real thing. Probably even more shocked that I didn't look it up before.
Well, when we were in elementary school, the internet was around, but still that stuff wasn't like super publicly available.
And when you're poor and you get your grandma's hand-me-down computer from 1990, you didn't really have much internet access.
How many minutes of AOL Online did she give you?
We had a internet connection and stuff. It was just like we literally had a beige tower in beige CRT monitor.
You got to start with the beige tower if you're going to be getting into computers. That's really the only way you can do it.
We had 90s tech in 2005, and we didn't know any better. So I was just doing Word, and then I was like, wow, this YouTube video. I was trying to watch Fred on a 90s computer. Fred! Yeah, because I was addicted to Fred.
Same. I think everybody was.
Yeah, and it took like a whole day to load like a 3-minute YouTube video. So
no way.
Dial up, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just to watch Fred.
You never experienced dial up?
Not that I can remember.
Yeah. That was a good memory. That wasn't the memory that I wrote down. It's still Animal Crossing because Fred's not really a gaming memory, but
yeah. But still.
It was good times. What about you? What's a good gaming memory for you?
So I think I'm along the similar vein, playing video games with my sisters. It's not something that happens very often.
No.
But I think my favorite is when we would play on the PS2 when I was a kid. And it was SSX Tricky, which I don't know if you've ever played. It's a snowboarding like exhibition game with like these crazy tracks. They also had It's Tricky by Run DMC as like
Yeah, that was playing in my head.
right,
Well, yeah.
right. And so it was always I always used to just sit on the home screen and watch the intro.
Tricky.
And it was so cool. If you haven't seen that intro, go look up on YouTube after you finish this podcast. But go look up the intro to SSX Tricky. The most early 2000s thing I think I've probably ever seen, and it's just filled with all that kind of cheese, but it's also so good. But my sisters, one night I remember waking up late in the night, and I had no idea how to play this game, but they would stay up in the middle of the night, and I would go and sit with them in the living room while they tried to get 1,000,000 points, because my oldest sister, my dad told her that if she got 1,000,000 points, he would buy her whatever she wanted at the mall. And so it became like her mission. So she was up late almost every night, as far as I can remember.
She's on the grind.
She was on the grind. She was grinding away to that 1,000,000 points. I don't remember what she wanted, but she wanted it a lot.
Yeah.
Before my dad got home, after she got the 1,000,000 points, I deleted the save off the memory card because I had no idea what he was doing or what I was doing. And my sister was very mad. Wholesome gaming memory, just sitting there in the living room in the dark with that giant CRT in our living room, just watching my sister do little 180 spins to keep your score up while you're getting to the next set of obstacles that you could do crazy tricks on. Love that game. Love that memory. Jake, I have another question for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to double up. Because
Okay.
I like asking you questions. I've talked for a while now. So I'm going to ask you, what is your most anticipated releases for this year?
I'm interested in Super Mario Wonder,
Mm-hmm.
but it's got to be Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Like it's far and away. There's no way home other than Spider-Man for me.
Mm-hmm.
That I was trying to make something
That
cool.
worked. I felt like that worked.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Huge Spider-Man fan. Loved the first game. Part of me, maybe just because I actually 100%ed Miles Morales, but part of me wants to say I like Miles Morales more.
So I agree with you there. Miles Morales was an improvement on the base mechanics they put into Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man, the swinging is really good. I know some people would want more physics-based like in Spider-Man 2. But Miles Morales improved like the air tricks and the way his swings, like the animations that went, or like when you would do a trick and then he would swing out. He had like specific animations that looked really, really cool. His combat too with the venom powers. Yeah.
That was like my worry with Spider-Man 2. And it's probably still a little bit of a worry, but this last trailer that came out yesterday, the time we're recording, the Venom ability, the actual Venom abilities.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I was like, if Miles has electricity, like I'm only gonna want to play him.
Mm-hmm.
And then seeing the symbiote suit, which they haven't actually called it the symbiote suit, that's gonna be like probably just as good, if not better, than the electricity.
Yeah. Plus, Peter's also got those cyber arms.
Oh yeah,
on his back, the iron spider arms, like the nanotech stuff. It looked like he stole a couple things from Doc Ock from the last game. But yeah, I'm super excited. Spider-Man is my ride or die fictional character. If I could be Spider-Man, I would.
Mm-hmm.
I eagerly await the day that they finally develop web shooters so I can go swinging through the buildings of Manhattan. But yeah, the black suit is my favorite Spider-Man suit. So when that got revealed at the showcase earlier this year, I was pumped, and it reminds me of Spider-Man Web of Shadows, which is another game, which probably is one we might want to do for the podcast.
Yeah. We'll probably have a lot of Spider-Man games in this podcast. So
yeah. It's a Marvel podcast. No, Jaker and I are in full agreement. That's why we're making a special episode for it, because we're so excited. We're like, well, why not just make content out of it?
That's exactly why we're stretching the definition of the backlog. But I mean, really, once it hits your backlog, it is.
If you haven't finished it, it's part of the backlog.
Yeah, if you as soon as you buy it, it's a part of the backlog.
Mm-hmm. We're still waiting to hear back from Sony on that one.
I did put in my name for a media pass.
They didn't invite us to LA to play the game.
Yeah.
I get it. You know, the room was packed.
Yeah. We were probably like, if there was 50 people invited, we were probably 51 and 2.
Most anticipated release, I think, for both of us is Spider-Man. Probably going to be our game of the year. I know a lot of great games have come out this year.
I mean, it's really just, I looked back at the list of games that have come out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like Jedi Survivor is like It was good. I played it on console. I had no issues with it. That's got to be the only other option for game of the year for me.
Kind of a yikes on PC, let me tell you, but but it's still a great game.
Yeah, it's a great game, but Spider-Man's going to beat it out, especially after what I've heard. If you like Spider-Man, if you like the first one, if you like Miles Morales,
really makes you feel like Spider-Man.
You're going to love this game. As we say that without playing it yet.
Well, I already know.
Yeah, we know.
As far as it's probably going to be game of the year. I know there's a lot of contenders. I know you said you looked back. Jedi Survivor, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. I mean, for
Great
other
game.
people.
For other people. I that's probably my number 2.
Yeah.
It's just if I didn't have the attachment I did to Spider-Man. Baldur's Gate, I didn't play it. I agree it's an achievement in gaming for something to be that deep. I didn't play it.
Not a D&D guy.
And that's not me saying it's bad.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great, and I love watching people play Baldur's Gate. I myself just can't do it. I really don't know anything else. It's those 3.
Final Fantasy 16.
Oh my gosh.
Hogwarts Legacy.
I did play Final Fantasy 16, and that should tell you what I think about it. If I don't think that it's Game of the Year contender material.
It's hard to bust through when you're JRPG.
Now, we also have to not forget about Zelda being Zelda.
True.
That's probably the game that's going to win.
That's got to be a bigger fan base. That has to be a bigger fan base.
Well, how many of your followers on your channel are Zelda fans?
A lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Not as big as Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Well, Pokemon biggest entertainment.
DLC. Can DLC win Game of the Year?
No.
We're going to end this on this question here. What is your least favorite game that you've actually played through to the end?
I have a good answer, but we'll save that for later. My least favorite game though that I've ever played is Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. That is one of the most broken games that I really tried hard to just put up with and play because I just wanted to play a Sonic game. But that game was just so god awful. And I finished it, and I regretted every single second.
I can't wait till we do it for the podcast.
Very funny. I almost might do it so you can suffer just as much as I suffered.
I 100%, looking straight into the camera, without a doubt, I want to play Sonic 06 because it's a train wreck. Same thing, I want to play Sonic Forces. Not as bad of a game.
Oh, that game's... Yeah, I played that one to the end, too. What about you, Jake? What is your least favorite game that you've played through till the end?
Well, Jordan, I think that's a great segue into talking about our first episode, Ocarina of Time. I hate that game.
Oh, what a shame.
Fiery passion.
What a shame.
I have so many things I'd love to dive into right now, but I'm going to have to save it for the podcast. But if you want to watch it right now, you can subscribe to our Patreon, and it's live right now on our Patreon. You can watch it right now. How many times can I say right now?
Who knows? But yeah, we'll have to talk about how you're wrong later.
Yeah, it'll be a pretty good first episode. I think there's going to be a lot of people upset with me, but I think that some of you might be like, yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Also, I played the N64 version on NSO, if you're wondering. So I'll go over that when we record
You poor
that.
boy. No wonder you hated it.
Yeah.
That concludes the introduction episode, the Backlog Club. Good to meet everybody. Good to be here. Jake and I are very excited to be doing this, and I am hoping you guys are just excited to watch us talk about some of our favorite and apparently least favorite games we'll be playing in the weeks to come. Hopefully games we want to play.
Yes. But there's also going to be games that I don't want to play, that you don't want to play. Maybe both of us don't want to play, but we'll do it for you guys.
Who knows? Maybe we might not even finish them because they're that bad.
Oh no, we're gonna require that's a requirement on this podcast.
I don't know about that.
You finished Pikmin, so
I did. It took everything I had to watch that man die.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
For
Sorry.
a 20-year-old game.
Sorry.
Gosh.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Spoiler alert for the bad ending of Pikmin.
Yeah, spoiler alert for the only 1.5 million people who played that game.
Right. That's why there's 4 of them.
Yeah. I don't know why there. As much as I love Pikmin, I don't know why there's 4 of them.
I don't know either after having played the first one. All right.
But
well,
anything else you want to say, Jordan?
Rutabaga. I think that just about covers how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know how to end this podcast. We don't really have an outro. We barely have an intro. So I think I'll just cut it randomly